Good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to change out front shocks on a 2001 Chevy Silverado. First thing I'm going to use is my impact wrench. Loosen these lug nuts, which are a 22-inch nut. Let's get these bad girls loosened up. Once your lug nuts are loose, you want to grab your jack stand and your jack and place them in position. So I've come to find that this is the best position for the jack to at least get the tire off. And for the jack stand, I put it right here on this part of the frame, just inside the lower A-arm connection. Now that I have the tire cranked up, I'm going to push the jack stand underneath to actually have it be supported before I go and take the tire off. Once you have your jack stand in the right position, go ahead and lower your jack so that some support and weight is on your jack stand and not all on your jack. Now that the weight is resting on the jack stand, I can now loosen the lug nuts to completely take the tire off. My favorite part, let's take this tire off. That. Nice and simple. My chair would get out of the dang way. Alright, perfect. Now that the tire's out of the way and everything is accessible, before I even go for the shock, I am going to move the jack underneath the rotor and jack this up to compress this spring so that everything is going to be a lot easier to take off. Before I moved the jack, I brought over another jack stand to help with additional support so that the front end won't droop down too bad when I go to move it. So now we come to the shock. This is a 14-inch socket. I have some vice grips here because once you try to take off this nut, this inner tubing is just going to spin, so you're going to want something on the top so you can get that nut loose. Down here on the ground for these bottom brackets. Let's see if we can get them off nice and easy. It's a 13mm socket and I'm going to use a 13mm ratchet wrench. Freaking ow! The jack just slipped out from underneath and fucking stabbed me in my side, and now I got a big old gash in my ribs. Holy shit, 45 minutes later I was able to get this nasty thing off, and now I can try putting on the new shock. Now that you got both of your nuts back on, I'll go ahead and tighten them up, and we can come up to the top and tighten the top. Start cranking your top nut and your shock should be good to go. Now that your shock is installed, you got the jack out of the way, it's time to put the tire on and bolt her up. We've got the tire on, now let's put these beautiful lug nuts on. Tire is on. Now to remove the jack, lower it down, recheck the nuts, and the job should be done. And there you are, ladies and gents. That is how you change out the front shocks on a 2001 Chevy Silverado. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.